Hello student, welcome to the class. Today we are going to cover module 5th from CEH version 11, that is vulnerability analysis. So let's see what is available in this module. We are going to next slide, that is module objectives. So we are going to cover these objectives in upcoming slides. Okay, so let's see what is objective number 1. Overview of vulnerability research, vulnerability assessment, and vulnerability scoring system. Overview of vulnerability management life cycle, that is nothing but vulnerability assessment phases. Understanding various type of vulnerabilities and vulnerability assessment techniques. Understanding different approaches of vulnerability assessment solutions. Understanding different types of vulnerability assessment tools and criteria for choosing them. Vulnerability assessment tools, and the last, generating and analyzing vulnerability assessment reports. So we are going to cover a few of objectives from this module objectives because this is the internship course. So it will not include all the syllabus. Complete syllabus won't be there. So we are going to cover only the major and main parts of this CH version 11 in this internship course. Okay, so let's move to the next slide, that is module flow. We'll see there are four types of module flow are there. So in this ethical hacking we are going to cover only few things, that is vulnerability assessment concept, vulnerability classification and assessment types, vulnerability assessment solutions and tools. In this we are going to only cover tools because solutions that comes in the under the security system, so we are not going to complete that, we are not going to include that. Okay, but I will tell you how we can fix the vulnerabilities if it occurs. Okay, and fourth one we can see here, that is vulnerability assessment reports, how the reports will be there and how to analyze the reports, how to fix the bug, how to identify the bugs. Okay, let's see the next slide. Vulnerability research. See, what is vulnerability research? The process of analyzing protocols, services, and configurations to discover vulnerabilities and design flaws that will expose an operating system and its application to exploit, attack, or misuse. So, what this sentence says is discovering the vulnerabilities and design flaws. Vulnerabilities is nothing but, as I said in the previous module, vulnerabilities is nothing but weakness of a computer or an operating system, web application, mobile application, or many things. Okay, and vulnerabilities are classified based on severity levels. There are low, medium, and high, and exploit range, that is local and remote. So what are these low, medium, and high? Low means, like, I can say in the upcoming modules I will explain in briefly how these are classified, low, medium, and high. But now, for now, I can say low is nothing but information, we can say. Okay, information of anything like operating system, okay, operating system application, and some little bit information about a particular service. Okay, service or operating system. And what is medium? What is medium? Medium is kind of the if a operating system is running with multiple applications, and what are those application, and what are the misconfigurations are there in the web application or application. Okay, and what are the high severity levels of vulnerabilities? High severity levels means like uh, easy to understand and easy to exploit those vulnerabilities. Sometimes it is easy to exploit, but sometimes not, because all the vulnerabilities we cannot exploit remotely or locally. I'll tell you what is remote and local. For an example, two systems are connected each other, and they are having one IP, and like for example 192, and I mean I can say here there are two operating systems are running. I have two laptops, okay. I can say I have two laptops, that is laptop A and B. So laptop A and B are connected in the LAN connection, that is local area network. So what happens in LAN connection means uh, they um, they create one IP, okay. With the IP, I can identify this is a laptop A and this is a laptop B. For example, I can say for the local network, I can see there is a two IP, that is for laptop A is 192.168.0.1, and for the laptop B, that is 192.168.0.2. So we are identifying the two laptops, okay, here, and these both laptops are running on Windows, okay, and they both have a different operating system, okay. Like laptop A is running on Windows 10 and laptop B is running on Windows 11. So these are the, so when we are going to exploit, how we can exploit locally. So there are exploits. What are exploit? Exploits are nothing but a bunch of code which are which makes an attacker to compromise particular vulnerability on a local or remote. Okay, so local we can only exploit. We are only able to exploit or compromise within the network. Okay, and what is remote means outside network. So if an for example, if an attacker wants to compromise my laptop B, then he has to enter in my local area network, okay, and like he has to connect like with the IP number, like he has to connect, he has to gain my access of LAN network, okay. Then he can compromise my laptop A and B both also. Like he will be the third person. And what are the communications are going on between A and B laptops? They both can be compromised and can be seen with the help of tools. Okay. And what are remotes is nothing but my laptop A is sitting in the USA, and laptop B, I can hear, I'm assigning here laptop A is a victim and laptop B is an attacker. Okay, so laptop A is in a United States and the laptop B is in India. Here, with the help of, if my system has a remote vulnerabilities, I can say like SQL injection or remote code execution. Then with the help of particular vulnerabilities and the exploit, I can compromise my laptop A with the laptop B. So this is the one good example to understand how these things works. Okay, so let's see what is next. An administrator needs vulnerability research. Why we need vulnerability research? Okay, so here it is showing that why we need vulnerability research, why it is important to us. Okay, so to gather information concerning security trends, threats, attack surfaces, attack vectors, and techniques. So these are nothing but to gather information concerning security, like information security is like what are the threats are possible to compromise, and how like if we do the vulnerability research on a particular web application or an operating system, then we can find out the vulnerabilities and we can fix that. Okay, and all the 4 points are says that all the 4 points are says that, like if we find the vulnerabilities in like if we are working in a company, and if we find the particular vulnerability in the web application or mobile application or operating system. If we find that, then we can save our data, we can secure our data, so that no so that the an attacker cannot compromise our operating system, and they should not leak or breach our databases. Okay, so for that purpose vulnerability research has to do. Okay, so let's see then the next slide. In next slide we can see resources of vulnerability research. So these are the researchers websites are there where we can get bunch of exploit. Here you can say the exploit database. Here we get the exploits for particular vulnerabilities, and these are other things are also available, which gives a brief explanation and how the vulnerabilities assessment can be done, and in the depth we can understand using these vulnerabilities, and we can get more information about the particular vulnerabilities and how to exploit them. Okay, let's see in the next slide. So what is vulnerability assessment? Assessment is nothing but like helping. Okay, how we can help in the vulnerabilities analysis. Okay, vulnerability assessment is an in-depth examination of ability of a system or application. Okay, so it is nothing but in the depth we have to examine an operating system or an web application or mobile application. Okay, so we can find out the vulnerabilities and flaws, and so that we can secure. Okay, and we can secure our data. So many things are there. Okay, so it recognizes, measures, and classify security vulnerabilities in computer system, network, or communication channels. Let's see the what is next available. A vulnerability assessment may be used to how where it can be used to identify weakness that could be exploited. So we can find out the weakness, so which can be exploited, and later we can fix it. Okay, so and to predict the effectiveness of additional security measures in protecting information resources from attacks. So like we have to it is used for protecting information resources from an attack. Okay, information obtained from the vulnerability scanners includes vulnerability scanners are available for network and web application, mobile application, and so many. Okay, using the vulnerability assessment tools that can be automatic or manually. There are two types of vulnerability assessment tools are available, that is automatic, and another is manually. Okay, I'll tell you in the upcoming slides. I'll tell you how we can use them, and how it is easy to use. Okay, and what type of vulnerability it's going to discover, and how we are going to identify false positive errors and different types of bugs and how to fix them. I'll just tell in the brief while going to those modules. Okay, so here information obtained from the vulnerabilities scanners includes network vulnerabilities, open ports, and running services. As I have covered what are open ports and closed ports and running services. If I am not covered in the previous, then upcoming modules are definitely going to cover this, because everything will be in the practical, so you guys will understand much better. Okay, so application and services vulnerabilities, what are the here in the third point you can see what are the applications are running on the particular operating system, and service application services both has vulnerabilities. So these kind of things can be discovered with the vulnerability scanners. And application services misconfiguration and errors, misconfigurations errors also will be I will explain in briefly, so that you guys can understand. So let's go to the next slide. So module 4 is, and here we're going to see vulnerability classification and assessment types. So vulnerability classification, how vulnerabilities will be classified. Like these are the very common things. Very common vulnerabilities are there. like we can how we can identify these common vulnerabilities. Like first is misconfiguration. Like if a system is having something misconfigured and not have a proper installation, and has not proper installed, or any application is proper not installed, and so there are some part is missed while the installation of an application, then this thing can compromise our system, or can leads to breach our database. And default installations. What are default installation means? Few while the when we are going to install an application, they comes with the default installation options only. Okay, so we have to check every option properly, and we should not default install, or because default installs, what it can leads means it can create a vulnerability, and that vulnerability can compromise our system, or system, or operating system, we can say. So default installation also a vulnerability that can leads to compromise our operating system. Okay, so what is buffer overflows? For example, a memory card has uh, I can say here, for an example, one 8 MB of memory card is there. Okay, but I want to load my 8 8 MB of data. So that is means breaking the capacity of a memory card. So that is nothing but buffer overflow. And what attackers what and like this what buffer overflow can leads to many attacks. I'll explain in the upcoming slides how it can leads. Okay, so nothing but for example is nothing but like overflowing something data, so that it can leads to hang our operating system, or like a denial of services. I will explain what is denial of services in the upcoming slides. Okay, so that is also possible with the buffer overflows. So what is unpatched servers? That is we can understand here what is unpatched. Patched means like some vulnerabilities came and we have fixed, that is patched. And some vulnerabilities came but we have not fixed, that is unpatched. That is unpatched servers. So where these vulnerabilities can happen? When a company has bought the servers from any vendors, and they have not patched all the vulnerabilities which came, so that is unpatched servers. This also is a vulnerabilities classification. Okay, so what is design flaw? So here we can understand what is the design flaw. Design here we can understand the any application is not designed properly, so that also can leads to an vulnerability, and later it can be used for compromising our operating system. And here we can see operating system flaws. Flaws, I can give you one best example. Windows 7 has if Windows 7 has not if a Windows 7 has default installation, and the Windows 7 has default installation, and it also has the misconfigurations and design flaws also. If that is not patched, if it is patched means then it is secured. If it is not patched, then Windows 7 has many vulnerabilities that can be exploited remotely. As I discussed before, what is remote and local. So Windows 7 has a if it is not patched, then we can compromise Windows 7 remotely with the help of exploit. Okay, application flaws. As I said before, design flaws, how it is occur, same thing happens in the application flaws. If application is not designed properly, or it has, or somewhere the code has became the vulnerability itself, then this is an application flaw. So that also can be lead to compromise our system. And what are open services? Some services are used, for example, I'll give you one example. An FTP service, that is file transfer protocol service is running on port 21. Okay, it is a default thing. Okay, the FTP must have to configure on the port 21. We can configure on different port also, but from the default is installation, FTP FTP service is only running on port 21, and that is opened. So what attacker will think, the FTP port is used for the file transfer, okay, file transfer things. And if it, and sometime FTP, what it can leads, sometime while the configuration of FTP protocol on our system, sometime we do not fix all the vulnerabilities available. But some what when an attacker scan for open ports and also vulnerabilities on open ports, it will see he will see the anonymous login is possible. So what he will do, anonymous login means we have default password for that. Okay, default password or no password sometime. So he will just log in with the anonymous user, and he will exploit the the particular service. And later also he can compromise the system, and that system can leads to breach our database. See, and we can say in the point number 9, that is default passwords. So default password like admin username and passwords, admin 123 admin 123, this can be username and passwords combination. So these are default passwords. This also is a vulnerability only we can classify. And many vulnerabilities are there. I'll discuss in the upcoming slides. So we'll see in the next slide. Types of vulnerability assessment. So here are types are there, that is active assessment, passive assessment. Let's see what is active assessment. Uses a network scanner to find host services and vulnerabilities. A network scanner, a network scanner in active scan assessment, what an attacker is doing, he's scanning for the he is using a network scanner to identify, to find out, or to enumerate the host is nothing but operating system. Service, as I told an example before, that is FTP, is a service. And what is a port number is 21. And what are the vulnerabilities are there, that is also I have told you that anonymous login is possible on FTP port. Okay, and if you guys have any doubt, you can contact me. I'll explain still better, and with the live practical example also. And passive assessment used to sniff the network traffic to discover present active system, network services, application, and vulnerabilities. See, passive assessment, it is possible to sniff the network. It is possible on the local and remote both. Okay, I'll in upcoming slide there is a tool. In upcoming models there is a tool, that is Wireshark. Wireshark is used to sniff the network. Okay, and later how we can filter, with a particular filter, we how we can find out the specific information. I will discuss everything in upcoming modules. Okay, so how these things are going to work. Okay, and what is external assessment? Assesses access. What is external assessment? As here we can say, as I told you before, that is exploit can be run on local and outside, local and remotely. Okay, so this is the same thing here. What from a hacker's perspective, to discover exploit and vulnerabilities that are accessible to the outside of world. Okay, like as I told you, port number 21, that is FTP, can be accessible externally. Okay, we can discover from the outside of the network. What is internal assessment? That is that I told you, right? With the like we can only identify the vulnerabilities when it is connected in the LAN network, or a single operating system also. But we cannot do remotely. Okay, so remotely is not possible, like scanning internal infrastructure to discover exploit and vulnerabilities. That is comes under the internal assessment. What is host based assessment? Host based assessment is nothing but conduct a configuration level check to identify system configurations. Here we are talking about a particular operating system, like as I told you before an example, like my system, my laptop A has a Windows 10 and laptop B has a Windows 11, so they both have different operating system, and different operating system comes with a different vulnerabilities. Okay, so here is the host based is nothing but operating system. How like how we can check misconfigurations here. User directories are there, file system registry settings, and so many things are there. Okay, and what is network based assessment? Determine possible network security attack that may occur on an exam organization system. So what are network security attacks? Network security attacks means, for an example, a website, uh, a website, I can say here, a website is running on an Windows 10 operating system or Windows Server, we can say here. Okay, a website is configured on a Windows Server to run to run the web application. Okay, so what an attacker will see here, he will try to identify the networks. What are the network things are there, like open ports, as I said here, host services and host and services and their vulnerabilities. These are comes under the network based assessment. Definitely there are web application also available, and we will discuss that is in next topic. Application assessment, here mobile application also can come, web application also come, and their misconfiguration and outdated components also is there. So what it is saying here, test and analyze all elements of web infrastructure for any misconfiguration, like first how we are testing for web application or application. We are like, there are these are common techniques or methods are there to identify their like miscommunication, any miscommunication is there or not, outdated content, what are the components we are using in the web application, is there any outdated content or not, and known vulnerabilities, is there any known vulnerabilities for their outdated content or something else. Okay, so this also comes under the vulnerability assessment in the application assessment. Okay, so what is next here is database assessment. Focus on testing databases. Focuses on testing databases such as MySQL, MS SQL, that is MySQL and MS SQL. MS SQL is Microsoft SQL, that is structured query language. Oracle. These are the DBMS. DBMS is nothing but database management system. So these are DBMS, that is database management system, are used to manage the database on the running on the uh, host, or we can say operating system, for a website. Okay, in simple language we can understand, for a website. Okay, so my database is are using, these are example of database: MySQL, MS SQL, Oracle, or PostgreSQL, and etc. For the presence of data export or injection type vulnerabilities. And I can say here there is a one vulnerability which directly attacks to the DBMS, that is nothing but SQL injection. In upcoming modules there is a topic, and I will briefly explain how the SQL injection, how we can discover, how we can identify the SQL injection, and how we can exploit and dump the data of a website. Okay, and also I will show, at the end of this module I will show how the SQL injection vulnerabilities will be there, how we can identify and how to remove the false positive information from the scanner, and which scan I have used to discover the SQL injection. Okay, so let's see the what is next slide. That is vulnerability assessment solution and tools. As I told you at the starting only, that vulnerability assessment solution I am not going to cover because it's not in the ethical hacking internships syllabus. Okay, but I'll tell you how to fix them. Like as we have studied a lot of about the discovering the vulnerabilities in the previous slide, how we can discover, okay, and how we can identify how the default installation, default password, operating system design, application flaws are there. Okay, so firstly we have to identify that these things, and then we have to check whether these are the false positive or not. Then if it is positive, then we have to take some procedures or techniques or methods to fix them. Okay, and what are the tools are used, that I'll just discuss here in the next slide. Okay, types of vulnerability assessment tools. Types of vulnerability assessment tools are host-based vulnerability assessment tools. Actually, if you want to learn more about the tools available on the internet, then you can just Google on the particular topic. Okay, here in the syllabus they have not given much information about the tools. Okay, but if you want to like if you want to get the more tools about the different assessment tools, you can Google it and discover and find out the more tools are available. Okay, so here we can see host based vulnerability assessment tools. Host based, as I told you, that is operating based. Okay, so there are some tools are there that will check any flaws or misconfigurations or any vulnerability in our system. Okay, right now they have not given in syllabus, but but we can get it on the Google. Okay, many tools are available. And depth assessment tools, here they have given one example. If like we can find out the directories on the web application or an operating system. I'll show you in the report. See what here has what there has they are telling in the second line. These types of tools includes fusers. What are fusers means? Like they are brute forcing. Brute forcing means attacking one particular value from a directory or password. Anything can be brute forced. Okay, they are just enumerating particular value what we need, or what like for example, if you are brute forcing for a username and password, so we will be having one uh, bunch of words that dictionary or direct dictionary will be we will be having. And what tool will do, it will try to log in with the these username and passwords what we will be having in the dictionary. When the condition is satisfied, means when the username and password found from the dictionary, then it will automatically log in, and it also will show us these are the username and password which are used to a successful login. Okay, this is nothing but here in this example, what these processes are doing. For example, I'll just show you. These are brute forcing directory on a web application. I'll show you one example here. As we can see, there is this is a this is a website. Okay, this website, and this has one directory. This has one directory. Under this main directory, it has subdirectory, that is author. And similarly, we can go on. We can find out many things. Like we can see here, it has found first blog, then blog is main directory, author is subdirectory. Again in this author subdirectory, this is another directory, and these are pages and something more and more. They are fusers are doing. Fuzzers are nothing but that is also one tool to fuzz this type of directories, or we can use these fuzzers on different attacks also. What is application layer vulnerability assessment tools? Direct, directed towards web servers or databases. We can see in the Google what our tools are available. They are not given here. Scope assessment tools provide security to the IT system by testing for the vulnerabilities in the application or OS. OS is nothing but operating system. Active and passive tools. Active scanners performs vulnerability to check on the network that consume resources on the network. Here, what is active scanners are there means what this line is saying that it consumes resources on the network. Okay, that what we can see, we'll understand what this is saying here in the with the help of passive scanners. Passive scanners do not affect system resources. They only observe data system and perform data processing on a separate analysis machine. So it is the opposite of, it is same opposite. Okay, active scanners are there means they are affecting the services of a operating system with these active scanners are these active scanners are disturbing the services or network in the running on the particular operating system. Okay, localizing location and data examination tools. And these are, you can see here that four types of scanners are there, and they have not given any example here in the syllabus from the CH version 11. uh, so but if you want to understand and learn more about that, you can just Google it and you will see many tools are available. So let's see in the next slide. Choosing a vulnerability assessment tool. Why we should choose a vulnerability assessment tool, and what are the requirements are there, on what condition, on what condition we have to choose an vulnerability assessment. Okay, vulnerability assessment tools are used to test a host for a application for vulnerabilities. So, and we what are requirements are there. Choose the tools that best satisfy the following requirements. Can test, we'll see the requirements here on the point number one. Can test from dozens of dozen to 30,000 different vulnerabilities depending on the product. Contains several hundred different attack signatures. Matches your environment and expertise. Has accurate network application mapping and penetration tests. Penetration test is nothing but finding out the vulnerabilities. Okay, has a number of regularly updated vulnerability script. Should has regularly updated vulnerability script for the platform that you are going to scanning. Generating reports. So generating reports is very important thing, because many of the scanners do not generate the report, so that uh, we cannot analyze much betterly how what are the vulnerabilities has been discovered. Okay, check different levels of penetration in order to prevent lookups. So there are many levels are there of penetration, that is automatic and manual also. And what are and in both the method, like local and manual, automatically and manually scanning or penetration testing, we have to see low, medium, and high severity of vulnerabilities, as I discussed in the previous slide. Okay, let's see in the next slide. Criteria for choosing a tool, vulnerability assessment tool. What are the criteria is there, or requirements we have to see, as we have seen in the last slide, what are requirements was there. So let's see what are criteria is there. Types of vulnerabilities being assessed, testing capability of scanning, ability to provide accurate reports, because in third point we can see here many scanners also give the false positive information, so that can increase our workload. And and let's see in the fourth point, efficient and accurate scanning. If the scanner is giving efficient and accurate scanning information, then this can make our work easy. Okay, these are like it is these are things are for the automatic scanners. Okay, automatic scanners. Capability to perform a smart search. There is a one tool which I can suggest, which is which is capable to perform web application smart scanning. That is nothing but Aquanetics and Bobsuit. Bobsuit. Okay, we'll see how the Bobsuit can be used in the upcoming modules. Point number six, functionality for writing its own test. And seventh number, test run scheduling. We can in the seventh point, we can schedule our scan like on the different time or different date. We can run our test on a particular application or web application or operating system. Let's see the next slide. Best practice for selecting vulnerability assessment tools. Let's see the point number one. Ensure that it does not damage your network or system while running tools. So we have to, as we saw in the previous slide, that is active and passive scanners. So here, passive scanner should use so that it should not disturb our network or damage any kind of data. Understanding the functionality and decide on the information that needs to be collected before beginning. Point number three is decide the source location of a scan, taking into consideration the information that need to be collected. So we have to keep the report in the separate thing, and all these things we have to check. Okay, enable logging every time a computer is scanned. So we have to enable logs also whenever the scan is performed. Every time log should be there, so that we can understand whether we are scanning the network, or someone outside the network or inside the network are scanning our system vulnerabilities. And in the last, users should scan their system frequently for vulnerabilities. So users should keep scanning the vulnerabilities for the systems, so that we can fix, and the attacker should not compromise. So before attackers compromise our system, we have to find out the vulnerability and fix it, to not to do not lose our data. So let's see in the next slide. So this is also one vulnerability scanner is there, that is vulnerability assessment tools. I'll just tell you. This is Qualys vulnerability management. So what is this vulnerability tool is there? A cloud-based service that offers immediate global visibility into IT system areas that might be vulnerable to latest internal threats and how to protect them. So this is a tool is there that can scan the vulnerabilities. Okay. Also, like we can see in the web application. For an example, I will take the web application. Uh, for example, a WordPress site. WordPress site is on latest version, but someone has found the vulnerability recently. So what this tool will do, it will show that this has this application, this website has the vulnerability, and we have to wait till the patch is coming. Once patch comes, we have to again update our web application, that is WordPress. Okay. So, so as we have studied what this scanner is doing, automatic scanner scans the vulnerabilities and find out the vulnerabilities, and later it also gives the reports. So this is a good tools is there. I cannot show you because this is, I think this is a paid version, and this the companies are paying for huge amount to maintain their security. Okay, so let's see in the another tool. Let's see the another tool, that is Nessus Professional and GFI Land Guard. So these are the these also Nessus Professional tool is used for the both web application also, and local operating system also can be used, because I have used it. I don't know much about GFI, but if you want to understand how these scanners are working, and there will be specific video will be there in Google. You can search it and you can download and you can use it, try it, and how the things works, how to scan, how to perform scan, what kind of vulnerabilities it can scan, and what are the, if it is giving false positive or not. So so many things we can perform test, and we can analyze the vulnerabilities if it is if it is satisfying our the criteria or requirements. So these things we have to see. But Nessus Professional tool is good, as I have used before. But for the web application, if you want to test, Aconatics is best tool. So it can discover many vulnerabilities. Also, it provides reports and many things. Okay. So let's see what is this. What is there are two tools has given. It is OpenVAS and Nikto. OpenVAS is used for the network scannings. Okay, it can scan networks. Here they have given one screenshot, and another tool is there. OpenVAS and Nikto both are used in the Linux system only. And Nikto also is there. They have in the screenshot you can see here, Nikto, they have given one command for the one particular website. Okay, for one particular website. I'll try to show you in my Linux system. I'll try to show you in my Linux system. I have one website. So we have to see the commands here. So what it is doing here, I'll just take this Nikto tool here in my Linux system. I'll try to perform this attack. Okay, here I am taking my own website, that is https cybersec.co.in. This is my own website, because I am the owner of this website, so I can perform test on this in an ethical way. Okay, so let's see what this tool can do and what type of vulnerabilities it can discover. It can take a long time. You can try on different websites, but do not go in the illegal way. Take a permission, or you can find out some bug hunting websites. There you can directly perform the scans. Okay, so I'm hitting enter here. Here minus h is used for host or our target. Okay, so our target is this website. See, it has given me one IP address. On what port this website is running, that is port 443. Okay, from where what is SSL information is there, what message is there. Okay, how many IP address has been discovered. Okay, when the here we can see when the scan is started. Okay, what server is available is Cloudflare, and what are the headers are there. Okay, so many things it is showing. So it will take a long time for the scan, but I'll just cut this scan here only. But you guys can practice at your own uh, with the help of Linux, Kali Linux system. Okay, so let's come to our next slide. So I one example I have given here for you guys, but you also can try at your own system with a different website, or same website also, my website also you can do it. I give you I will I'm going to give you permission for this also, no problem. Other, and we can see here other vulnerability assessment tools are also there, that we can see here coil free scan is there. Acronetics, as I told you before, Acronetics web vulnerability scanner, Nexpose, and so many things are there. Core Impact is a very paid is a paid scanner is there, but this cost is something around $20,000 for a year, for a year license. So but this is very good tools. It will automatically scan the target, automatically will gain and compromise the target. Everything will be done automatically here. I have used it, so I know this very well. No, okay, so let's see in the next what are tools are there. um, here tools for mobiles are there. There are let's see, vulner scan. Okay, vulner scan, an android app that perform an android app that perform passive vulnerability detection based on the fingerprint of the software version. So I think this application requires a root or not, I'm not sure because I've not used, but many tools are there. If you want to scan a vulnerabilities, then you can also use mobile phone. Okay, security matrix mobile, this is also one another mobile tool is there that also used. Okay, you guys can use that, but for just to understand the tools, I'm just giving you one example here. Okay, let's see in the next slide. So vulnerability assessment reports, how the reports will be there if we scan any, if we perform any scan on automatic or manually scanning. Okay, burp suite is the tool where we can perform automatic or manually scanning. Both is possible. Okay, so let's see in the vulnerability assessment reports. The vulnerability assessment report discloses the risk detection after scanning. So what it discloses, it discovers the risk detected after scanning, means like identifying the or finding out the vulnerabilities. These are and what is there in second point? The report alert the organization of a possible attack and suggest countermeasures. What are countermeasures? Means possible procedures to fix the vulnerabilities. Okay, and what report does is alert the organization. And see in the third point, information available in the report is used to fix security flaws. We already know, if we are finding the vulnerability, we are finding the vulnerabilities just to fix, so that attacker should not take advantage or compromise our operating system, network, or application, web application, etc. Okay, so what vulnerability assessment report should contain? Scan information, target information, and result. Okay, I'll show you one example, a live example. Okay, this is not a clear picture is there. Okay, but I'll show you some information. See here, scan information, target information, and result. Okay, I'll show you here. Scan information, scan here we can see the target is certifiedhacker.com. This is our target. What are the vulnerabilities they have discovered? SSL TCL server support, that is TLS version 1.0 is the vulnerability. Also, this is a network vulnerability. Okay, and how on like how it is categorized? That is general remote services, because it is network, so we can access to the externally also we can access. And what type of vulnerability it has discovered, if a website is using this service, this TLS service for encryption. Actually, this is used for encryption and decryption and communication with the DNS, and a user to server. This is used. This service is used. And what are the vulnerability is present in this? This is a poodle attack. A poodle type attack could also launch directly at TLS without negotiating a downgrade. Means how we can perform this vulnerability means, if a website is running on HTTPS, PSS is for secured. Okay, with the help of this attack, this portal attack, we can downgrade the website. We can downgrade the website from HTTPS to HTTP. Means we are removing the security layer on a particular website. Okay, and another example I'll give you. So this is my client's website, which I have discovered the report, and which I have discovered the vulnerability, and I have given their vulnerability. I have given them a vulnerability assessment report, and I also I have given them proper report. I'm not going to show that, but this is a scanner report, automatic scanner report from the Aquanetics. Okay, so here I can show you how we can first, how the three things we have to see here. See, three things we have to see here: scan information, target information, and result. Okay, so you see the target information is there. Target information is there. This is our target. Okay, and these are some scan information are there. What are the, as I told you right before, these are severity. Okay, severity: high, medium, low severity, as I spoke before in the previous slides. These are the severities are there. High severities, what are high severities vulnerabilities are there? That is nothing but SQL injection. And what scanner has done, that SQL injection has verified, means scanner has already verified that this vulnerability is exist in this website. Okay, and these are the details. This they have given the complete report, the complete request, how this vulnerability is discovered, and how we can exploit. For exploiting the SQL injection, there is a tool called SQL map that is used for exploiting this SQL injection. So SQL injection, as I told, this is a DBMS injection that directly attacks to DBMS, and we can gather the information from the directly DBMS. Okay, see, they have given the payload, and on what parameter this vulnerability is available. If you we can see here in the request. So get request is used. They have given one URL, including that payloads also is available. Till here our report this one payload is given, and some details are available. Okay, this is our target, and so many things they have discovered. Okay, so this is and here Aquanetics also proved that this is 100% verified SQL injection. How it has been proved? You can see here severity is high. Description also they have given. Recommendation also is given how we can fix it. Okay, and details of very good details of injection point. Also they have given one proof of concept. So whenever we are hunting a bug or finding out the vulnerability, we have to provide the proof of concept to the organization. Okay, so that later they can reward us. So what this query is doing, this is selecting the current database, okay, available on a DBMS. Okay, so it has selected one. This is one SQL, this is a MySQL query. Okay, MySQL DBMS query. So it is they have the Acuity scanner has performed one query of a SQL language, and it has given the result. So this, what is this? This is the database name, current database name. So this has been proved that and also verified vulnerability. Okay. So here we ends the module fifth. Let's then next is module 6. We'll discover many things in module 6.